Okay, welcome to James Green's English Classroom Board of Directors meeting for 90 minutes. I am James and I will be the chair of the meeting. Our members on the Board of Directors are Mokhtar, Claudette, Ahmed, Fatemeh, Mohammed Ejbara, and Nelly. And I see everyone except for Nelly, and I know, oh, here comes Nelly. So the meeting is a public meeting. It's recorded to YouTube, our YouTube channel. It is open to silent observers, so people can join and observe and listen silently for the first hour. And then for the last 30 minutes, I'd like to open it to people who would like to speak to the board, ask the board questions or interact. So Mohammed Ejbara is our secretary and is arranging the agenda. The agenda for today is in the Discord channel for the board of directors for the agenda. And I'd like to know if anybody has additional items that they'd like to add to the agenda before we begin. Not hearing any, I'm assuming that is a no. So feel free, like we work in my class, you can say your name, speak on the agenda item that you're interested in, raise anyone that's there that you'd like to speak on. The floor is open. Mohammed, thank you for posting the agenda into the chat.
This is Mohammed Ejbara from Palestine. I suggest we start with the item number 1. Is that okay?
Oh, you don't have to ask if that's okay. Just go ahead and start.
All right. I've noticed a class, maybe 2 classes, I can't remember the other class very well, where a teacher was talking and explaining her lesson, and suddenly she lost connection. So it is a problem, I believe, and I suggest a solution, which is the teacher who has something to share, like if they want to share their screen to the students, can send this content to board of directors or the host mainly, so that if any emergency happens, the host can take over as a backup and continue the lesson without any cut of anyone else.
This is Mokhtar from Tunisia. I'd like to, first of all, this is my first meeting in the board of directors here, and it's an honor to me, and I owe it to James and to the rest of the group members, whether here in the board of directors or in the whole group here, people who are really interested in practicing and learning and improving their Englishes, as well as meeting people from all over the world. I'm sorry to take some time from maybe from the agenda to say that I've joined a lot of meetings, and although I appreciated what a lot of other groups, and although I really appreciate what they are doing, I found this group really special for the great effort and the and how the people, whether James as a founder of the group, or all of them are really working hard to make the group running and successful. And it's an honor to me. And in my reaction to what Mohammed said, I think, yeah, this we should do something about it. I guess a backup teacher, if other teachers volunteer, having a backup teacher to avoid mishaps, and sending the materials and supports teachers are planning to use beforehand to the maybe to the admins is a good idea. Thank you. Back to you.
Welcome to the Board of Directors, Mukhtar.
Thank you, James.
Come, Mukhtar.
Thank you.
Can you say something about the #1 agenda? Actually, I agree with that. Any teacher, you must have the curriculum we discussed about this topic last season for the board of director. And any teacher, when you wanted to teach the class, you must sharing the curriculum, might be the result. When you have any problem in your class or her class, you can anybody complete this lesson. We have a lot of the problem like the bad connecting, might be any problem, and anything when it happen. And you know that the board of director attended the call every day. I think when you have the problem in that, you can anybody complete when the teacher is stopped. I agree with this opinion and this agenda, #1 agenda. That's it. Anyone else?
I would like to add to that, in addition to asking teachers to do that, I'd like to remind teachers to please come to their classes 5 minutes before their class is scheduled to start in order to smooth the transition from one class to the next. Anything else on this agenda item, or can we move to the next one?
This is Mohammed. Sure, I agree with the addition. It's very important, I believe, to come at least 5 or 10 minutes earlier. Yeah, and regarding the same item.
George, please mute. Go back to you, Mohammed.
Yeah, regarding the same agenda item, I suggest an easy way to do it, which is just ask the teacher. I believe coordinators can do it. I mean, the teacher coordination team. They just can simply ask the teacher, do you have any content you want to share your screen? Please send it to me. Send it whether on WhatsApp or Discord. Yeah, anyway, just to save it in our devices as co-hosts just in case. Yeah, and I just want to mention that this suggestion was mainly suggested by Hassan from Turkey. We were talking in the voice chat and we talked about it and it came to my mind. So it's a matter of copyright for Hassan. Back to you.
I want to say something on the matter of teacher coordination. Last week, Claudette and Ahmed joined to assist with teacher coordination with me and Nelly. And I've really noticed a difference in having that extra assistance to reach out to teachers, to just confirm their classes, get their pictures for the Facebook events, and confirm the times of their classes. It's really made a big difference already. So I'm glad for that and would love to continue in that direction.
Hello, this is Claudia from Mexico. I'm very happy. It's Friday, finally. And I was waiting to have this space in this moment to talk. And yes, it was about Fatima was giving about the class, but we know that several issues make it happen. And so I was so happy to take the opportunity to continue and following it. And it really works. And I felt that's why maybe co-hosts are part of the work. And I would be very happy to follow if I am available in that moment and I can continue giving the class, so the other members in the group, they can understand and about the topic that we were talking. And I was talking with Nelly about that we need to know exactly what the teacher is going to expose in class, so we can, yes, like Mohammed mentioned, we can give the support to have the screen so the teacher can get it better and easier the way that they want to teach a subject. And we are very pretty new. Even myself, I consider myself like I am just learning, and I'm waiting for my training to get more in this community about my participation. And thank you. Back to the group.
Okay, I'd like to move on to agenda item number 2 about the live streaming, and I have something to say about that. What I did today, because I haven't signed up for Restream, is I just went to YouTube, took the link for the live stream in YouTube, and then just pasted that into Facebook. And so I believe that just came up in Facebook just immediately, and then people can see that it's live, and they can, I put also in the comments the link to the Zoom so they can see that it's happening. It would be helpful, since that is something that needs to be done every day. Any of those like little tasks that need to be done at the start of the call, if somebody wanted to take that on, to say like, I'll always go to YouTube and post the link to Facebook, and then click it as like a featured post in the Facebook group. If somebody wanted to do that, that would be helpful. If not, I will continue to try to remember to do that. And I think for now, I would prefer to do that rather than trying to figure out Restream. Anyone else?
This is Muhammad. I believe the way you're doing it now, let's say it's okay, but it would be better if we like go live stream, because notifications appear when the live stream is going on, and many posts doesn't get notification for the users. So if it's like not a big deal, let's say, why not to try it? I mean, I just want to inquire something. Last meeting when I suggested it, have you tried it? Like, was there a problem?
I haven't tried it, and I'm open to trying it. I have a question for you. I understand that it's an advantage to have a notification go out on Facebook. When I click on a post and indicate it that it's a featured post, do you get a Facebook notification that about that post?
Yeah, sure, because I did see first feature for the group. That's why I believe.
Okay, so when I posted it to Facebook today, and I made it a featured post, you got a Facebook notification, not just that you saw it in the group, but you got a Facebook notification for it?
Yeah, I got the notification. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm still open. I'm still open to trying it. It's just, okay. I'm still, it's on my to-do list.
May I say something about this? I don't have a clear idea about about the Restream and the money you need to pay for it. I think if you need to pay money for Restream and there is an option of using the live stream on YouTube, so maybe we should better stick to the YouTube live stream with maybe sharing the link to it. And YouTube is accessible to everyone. It would be better if we do that and save money.
The Restream, cost of Restream is free, for 2. So if it's just Facebook and YouTube, it's free. If we were to go to 3, it starts to cost money.
I see.
Can I speak? This
Yeah,
is
go
Nelly
ahead.
from Germany. Another factor is that it is some data which accumulates by making a recording to different platforms. And yeah, I just try to not create unnecessary data because it's somewhere in the world there's a server and it needs energy. And yeah, that's an environmental concern that I have about streaming to lots of platforms. And I have an idea how we could try to get more visibility for our classes on Facebook. I've heard that it really matters if people click on the like, because if many people do that, then it will yeah, it will be displayed to more people. So if we can establish a habit of our participants to click on like all students who have watched the video, then we have 900 likes instead of 60 as we have currently. So that might help to promote the videos as well.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to say something about promotion. Certainly don't mind people liking the videos. I would, this is maybe a new agenda topic, but I would love to talk about how we want to promote the group. I think if we had like a promotion strategy, it could be very useful. I know that there are just a lot of groups and spaces that would probably have many people who would be interested in participating in our calls. And I have not at all begun to explore sharing the information about our group to those spaces. So maybe we can start to talk about how we would like to promote before we just do it individually, and then have like, you know, like a promotion outreach subcommittee or something that is going about our promotion work in a systematic way to reach out and say like, well, these are the spaces that we'd like to reach out to. These are the ones who have been receptive. We, you know, post a note that we do classes there. We've posted once a week or once a month, and it has been posted this week or this month. And this is what we posted, you know, and so we can just go about it in a systematic way. I'd be happy to talk about that with other people who are interested to come up with a plan. Anyone else?
I'd like to add, just a suggestion maybe that we also can share the videos in our social media, like in our individual Facebook pages and so on, so that it can reach more people. But of course, this is after what you suggested, that we should discuss this first and how to be ready to maybe deal with big numbers of newcomers.
I totally support the idea to plan the talking about the group, because if I would just on my personal timeline, if I would post every day's video or all the videos we produce every day, I think my friends or anyone who knows me and who gets those notifications will just say, oh, Nelly again, and they won't be interested in watching one of them. So yeah, I think it's better to have a concise information in a good place than to flood everything.
I don't think this would be very, very annoying to them. I mean, to your friends on your Facebook page, it just appears to them in their, in the news, and they can watch or they just skip it. I mean, if they're interested and they believe in the video, and they know that, for example, you normally share interesting things, they would have a look. If they just had a look and they didn't like it, they just skip it. But anyway, maybe you're right.
It's
This is
interesting.
how I see it. Yeah.
I have a question just about how Facebook works. I share the concern that Nelly has. Now, I post videos into the group, and I still wonder if my posting of videos into the group every day come up in my friends' notifications, and then people are like, oh God, I'm tired of James posting videos all the time. Even though I'm posting it into the group in my role as admin in the group, I just don't know really how Facebook shows my videos. I mean, I'm not sure it's worth it to me to investigate. I could find someone who's not in the Facebook group and ask them, like, are you seeing me post videos on Facebook all the time? But I'm curious about that. I do want to post the information for the group in a strategic way, in the sense that I want to post it in a place where I think it's new information to people who don't know, and then are not feeling, that they're getting more information from me than they want. Back to the group. So Nelly, did I hear you correctly that you'd like to kind of join me outside of the meeting in conversation about planning promotion? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I will start an organizational channel in Discord about that. Okay. Next agenda item. Nelly, it seems like that's your item. Resume for June.
Yeah. Resume. Yeah, I just wanted to say, talk about what we have done as teacher coordinators in June. We've had 8 paid classes, and 5 of them are now actually paid. And 3 we have, it's not so easy to transfer money globally. So yeah, some countries are really difficult. And yeah, we will have to learn how to do that. But yeah, lots of people also have received it without a problem. So, and we have had 24 classes taught by volunteer teachers, in addition to James's big contribution.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have something to add to that. First, I sent a payment to Min just today, and I believe that that's all the PayPal payments that we have to make. I still have on my to-do list to work out the cryptocurrency wallet to make payments to Iran. I have not gotten to that. And regarding the ad, an ad came up for more teachers in another teacher Facebook group. That was unintentional. I had submitted that ad weeks ago, and the group just did not accept my comment to their group until there was many weeks delay. So then predictably, I sent hundreds of messages to potential teachers, but the 2 or 3 that I missed predictably showed up again to complain that I had not responded to them. And it created a little, it's still, I just not reached out to any of the teachers who are now responding to me again, who want to teach, because it feels a little bit like we have time, a month at least before we start scheduling new teachers for August. But I do plan to do that. And I would like to coordinate their onboarding more, better than we did this time. We did it a little bit. It was a little rough, and I want to coordinate with the teacher coordinators before I start reaching out to those new teachers for August, exactly what I'm saying to them, what information I'm giving to them, and where I'm sending them.
James, please, would you please maybe tell us about the requirements for teachers that you think we should use here in the group? Any requirements?
Yeah, I get asked that a lot. I have a simple requirement, which is just a passion for teaching. I've been, I don't know if this sounds bad, but I have set the bar for teaching very low as possible, so that it includes people who are not experienced teachers and yet want to, through us, begin to have some experience through what I would call like a informal apprenticeship to teach. So they come, they teach, and what I look for is just that someone is serious in making an attempt. If they make a serious attempt and basically do the basics, which is show up on time, show up with their camera on, are available to interact with students, in a way that is just a professional demeanor, then I'm open to them teaching in the group and working with them. They don't have to have some kind of English level ability. They don't have to have any particular qualifications. They don't have to be a native speaker, of course. And so then if there is that level of willingness, I go through a process of bringing them on board slowly so that we can all get a sense of the teachers who are coming in without them becoming a teacher and everyone says, who is this person? So that they first make just a schedule of 1 hour. They come, they show up for 1 hour, they teach for 1 hour. Then only after they have completed that successfully, we invite them then to teach, to schedule 2 more hours, and those need to be separated so it's only 1 hour a week. So then again, gradually they're coming in 1 hour, then 2 hours over 3 weeks. And then if they complete that, what I would call like the 3 apprenticing hours of teaching, we'd say to them, you've done that successfully, and now you can do it every week if you want. Some people want to, some people don't want to do it that frequently. I'm not inviting anybody to do it more frequently than once a week. And if we were to set a higher standard then about who would come in to, let's say, teach a weekly class, we could talk about that, but I haven't seen the need to set that barrier yet.
So it's somehow learning through teachings, maybe for some of them.
Yes.
Right. I once suggested somewhere in the group that maybe a space should be created where teachers can meet together and give each other feedback and support.
Oh,
is this possible?
I thought that's what I had already created with the channel for teachers in Discord, as well as the meeting for teachers that happens now regularly on Sundays at, I can't remember the time, maybe 14 UTC. So that is the purpose for that space and that meeting. The space for teachers to talk to each other has been monopolized. I don't know what the word is, has been mostly being used for scheduling. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to continue or if it makes sense to create a separate place for teacher scheduling and teacher conversations. It might. But again, I want to reemphasize, like, my idea for the teacher apprenticeship or doing it once a week is that teachers ideally are, teaching once a week and then are meeting together once a week for that meeting on Sunday to talk to each other about how their teaching is going, giving each other and receiving feedback, and planning together about how they want to teach in the group. And I think as more teachers come on board and people, who are interested in continuing stay on board, that will gradually develop. Anyone else?
I would like to have someone who helps the teacher coordination team, in the sense that they really get the information what teachers plan to do with their hour, and maybe even collect that information, present it to students, something like that. And I think, and
Nelly, I didn't quite catch that. You would like someone whose job would be to reach out to teachers and find out what they're doing with their classes, like what their curriculum is, and help them to communicate it to students.
And maybe other teachers to make some plan.
I don't want to create too many new channels, but would it be helpful to have a teacher curriculum channel where the main purpose of that channel would be to coordinate the curriculum, so that we know, like, we have this many advanced classes, this many grammar classes, this many conversation classes.
I take the word. Okay.
Go ahead, Claudette.
Yeah, and then Nelly, I don't know, Nelly, if I catch about the idea, but it's like monitoring about the classes, what grades they're going to be teaching and everything, organizing. I think Mohamed and I can do it. I invited Mohamed to join me, and probably we can be a little bit in charge, because I know that he has the passion for teaching and about monitoring and organizing, and like giving a little more understanding about what is about teaching in classroom, because online classes are completely different, like being in the real classroom, like, the names. And here we have like Oscar, we have Frida, we have Roman, we have many names and people. So we have a lot of people, and interacting with them, that would be very joyful for the class, and take it something like they are advancing in their level of learning in English. I think that is a great idea. I am in. Yes, if you want to start doing that, come with me. Yes, I like that idea. Back to the group.
It is Fatima. I also can help you in this case. And I think even before class and after class, after the teacher teaches in the session, sometimes the student need the material. We can share it before the class is started, or even after the class, the material share in a specific channel, like curriculum for teachers or whatever it will be. So it's good for a student to catch this material before class or after class, or even we can add more website or more material related to that topic. So for the first topic, that it was about maybe a teacher disconnect at the class time. So for example, me as a co-host or as a teacher, I can be there and I'm ready to run the class if the teacher disconnected at that time. The material is important to be shared in the channel, and then we are ready to to continue the class after the teacher. For me, I'm ready that continue that class, and even sometimes open conversation classes running without writing a specific topic, just writing in chat. And if someone new join the class, they don't know what the topic is, better to write it down in a PDF file, for example, or PowerPoint or Word, then just rather than just start talking about, and the newcomers don't know what happened in this session. It's better it be more clear, the topic and the material. And I think there is some weak point in this case. We need to improve it. And the other thing is, if a teacher, because now the rule is that everyone can teach in this class. Sometimes teachers made mistake and teach wrong, maybe. So wrong material, wrong grammar, pronunciation, whatever, including me. So in this case, what we should do, continue the class, or someone who knows the correct answer must correct the teacher. I don't know myself in this case. What should I do? Should I correct? Should I explain? Should I stop? Or if I made a mistake in my class, or I don't know, for example, this question, what will happen?
Yes, Claudette. Yes, that's right. That's right, Fatima, because sometimes we forget the rules, and sometimes students are in advanced level and they can say, oh, you say that, teacher, and they correct you. So we don't have to feel bad because we forget that there are rules, or we forget about the grammar, or maybe we don't very fast. Sure. Yeah, and Fatima, I know that you put in Discord about the class that you had, the passive voice, and I really found interesting because all the students that they want just want to review a little bit about what was the topic about during the week. That is excellent. I really love it, and I like a lot, even for me as a teacher.
Yeah, I like to be corrected. I love it. I don't resident against correction. If someone corrects me, I will be happy, but I'm not sure about that. May I correct the other person or not?
That's encouraging, I think.
Problem that I have.
Encouraging them become better, not to say it in a bad way, because teachers, we are very jealous and we don't want somebody corrects us, right? Well, in that case, sometimes says, how do you know more than I do? No. But that's true, and sometimes it happens, but we have to be open-minded. Okay, so I don't worry about that at all. Okay. Yes. Well, I have 3 people, Mohammed, Fatima, and me, to be Nelly, supporting about your idea. Okay.
This is Ahmed. Can you say something? That's my private opinion. I don't know. I have some confused about the I work. I think anybody can't be teacher. We're speaking about the organizing the teacher. That is very difficult work, but we're able to work. But I think when you invited anybody to teach the class, first of all, you must have the resource. Maybe they have the curriculum when you wanted to teach the class. You see that some teacher come to teach the class, don't have anything. Like what's happened about the 3 or maybe 4 days ago, don't have anything, just have the question, put the question on the chat books and that discuss with. That is not teaching.
Ahmed,
you know?
Can I just ask, who was that teaching 3 or 4 days ago who had nothing?
Most of them, most of them.
Well, just do you have a name? Really? I haven't seen it.
Like richer classroom,
okay.
You know?
Okay.
So that's my private opinion, but I have some confused when you I coordination with the teacher. That is not teach. That's open the conversation. Anybody in the class, you can make the open conversation. But the teacher have the curriculum and preparing your laptop, sharing the PDF and explain the something different, you know. And anybody came the question and put the chat books and this guest, I think that is not teach, you know. I wanted to focus on the quality of the teacher, because that's created for the board of director for the control the call and organizing the call, and we have the performance and the quality class, you know. That's my private opinion. Any teacher, when you wanted to teach the class, you must be teacher, not student. Student to, you consider yourself student and you consider yourself teacher, came to teach the advanced. That's created the problem in the call, you know. You must have the half level for anybody when you wanted to teach the class. That's my opinion, you know, because I attended all the call. I monitor a lot of the details related with the call. That's my suggestion. When you invited any person to teach the class, you must have the half level teaching the student and the intermediate and the advanced. That's called the teacher.
Ahmed, I'd like to respond to that. You done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, so in my role as head teacher, I see it as my primary job to be concerned with that question of who we want to invite in as the teacher. And one of the reasons I have this 3-step process of inviting people in is, in a way, to give teachers an opportunity to demonstrate their teaching abilities, so that we don't just ask them, are you a teacher, but we get to see. You say, show you want to be a teacher, and you say you are a teacher or you want to try, show us what you can do. And then we have something to work on. So I don't want to take away the invitation to anybody to hold at least 1 to 3 classes where we can then get a feeling for their abilities and their seriousness. After that, I'm much more open to working to get, and I this is not, I don't think, your private opinion, Ahmed. This is your, like, your job as a teacher coordinator and a member of the board of directors to discuss and give feedback about how we are what we are hosting here as a group. So we can talk then as the board of directors, and maybe even together with the teachers, who is doing what. Do we want to tell them you can't do what you're doing, like you can't teach at all? Do we want to make recommendations to them to, like, well, we want you to continue teaching, we just want you to have do this kind of class? So I think there's room for making requests of specific teachers for what we want in terms of what curriculum. Like you could join with me and Nellie in the curriculum planning. Excuse me, not me and Nellie, whoever's going to do curriculum planning, and then try to match that with the teachers. And it's true, I have said to the teachers mostly, do anything. Let me know what you're doing, but do anything. And some teachers have taken that and ran with it and done well. Other teachers maybe not have done so well, although I've been pretty satisfied with what I've seen. And then some teachers actually don't like being told to do anything. They want more guidance in what kind of curriculum to follow. So it is a matter of meeting them with a little bit more planning and preparation on our side, and also talking, it's kind of new to be inviting teachers in. If there have been a couple of failed classes, people got together and it somehow didn't work out, I think that that's fine personally, to have a little bit of trial and error. And then we need to really talk about, like, if there's a teacher doing something that's problematic, what's the problem and how do we want to address it? Back to you.
Actually, I agree with you. We give anybody to a chance to prove yourself, but I think, you have some requirement for teaching, like there's something you teaching the class, not just the question you put on the chat box, Okay, I'm not worried for anybody teaching the class, but
Yeah.
that's my thought. You must have a little bit intermediate to leave the class. You consider yourself the zero in English, maybe the beginner to learn English, go to the call teaching the advanced student. That's created the problem in the call. That's my private opinion. We have some result, some PDF, something you can teach in your class. That's my private opinion. I don't know. Do you catch
Yeah.
my opinion or not?
Ahmed, I appreciate you sharing your private opinion, and I want to invite you into the curriculum discussion. I'm going to create a channel for curriculum discussion, and I hope that you will continue to be involved in that and to add your feedback.
Okay.
May I react to that?
Okay.
Mokhtar and then Claudette.
Right, thank you. I suggest that working with teachers on their teaching skills would be better. It would be better if it would be private, in a private way. I mean, if for example, talking to teachers in a public space where anybody can see the discussion, I don't find this instructive and helpful. It would be better if we work on teachers one-to-one, or maybe a space where there are only teachers. Can be a Zoom call like this, but only for teachers, and we can then we can talk together about maybe about our challenges and concerns and get the right feedback. It would be more comfortable if we do that in private. I still have two more points, not really related to this, but if
Do you want to hear? Do you want to
Yeah,
hear
of course.
responses to your
Yeah.
first point, or do you want to get all your points in first
No,
before you hear?
no, I'd like to hear your idea
Okay.
about, yes.
So here I have a response to your first point, which is that teacher training, like you said, is a kind of personal relationship. So that I can see that there teachers teachers who are learning to be teachers, they may only want feedback from certain specific people or a certain group of people, like the board or like other teachers. And I would want to create spaces where teachers are getting feedback from the people that they want in the way that they want to get it. And it has to be a match. It has to be a match. So if a teacher only wants to get feedback in private, but there's no teacher trainer who wants to give feedback in private, then we don't have a match and it's not going to work. If I'm teaching teachers, I may want to give my feedback and do my training in a certain way, and then I would want to find teachers who are open to working with me. But I'm open to other people doing teacher training in the group, and if they work it out with other teachers in a way that they agree to, I have no problem with that. As long as people are not coming to me and demanding that I do my teacher trainings in some way that I don't want to do it. Back to you.
Right. I mean, my point was that it's not good either for teachers or for students, for example, to be corrected or maybe get feedback in public. And this can lead me to the second point, is about correcting mistakes. If a teacher is conducting, is hosting a lesson, and she or he gets corrected from students, then it's fine. I mean, if one of my students, corrects me, then I think it's fine. This is what I tell to my students right from the beginning of the school year. Let's say that I'm a human being, I'm not a robot, and that I can make mistakes. And I even ask them to pay attention with me to the board, or if it's good if I ask for a clarification if things aren't really clear. However, there are ways to do that. either mainly that our students are adults. We can do that in in an ethical way, let's say, in a decent way, not just maybe if I'm an advanced learner and I just, follow all the lessons and I find it, and I do it like a game, maybe see, for example, Claudette given a lesson, and then I say, I'm just chanting for her mistakes and trying to show off. It would be better not to do that. I think this is not a good way to do it. For teachers and other members of the group here, like, correcting mistakes for our colleagues would be better maybe after the session. If you had noticed something and you wanted to, it's not actually correcting, but maybe supporting your colleague and give them support, give them maybe, helping them to improve their teaching skills. It'd be better if it is done later after the class, not during the class. This is, I think, stopping the teachers every now and then, correcting their mistakes is very frustrating. My last point, sorry, is about the channel that you thought of creating about where teachers can share their courses. I find this very helpful so that we can see, let's say, the available courses, and we can see if we can add, for example, new courses, but at the same time, we can avoid maybe giving two courses on the same topic, maybe giving grammar for beginners, two courses for grammar for beginners or intermediate. Maybe we can invest this time and the effort of that teacher differently in a different course. That's it.
Thank you, Mukhtar.
Thank you.
Well, this is Claudette from Mexico. And I have, going a little bit back, I'm going to go with Mohamed, but going with Ahmed, I feel the frustration like being a co-hosting. And sometimes when you finish your class, James, everybody is so much enthusiastic and getting like, they want to have more about the adventure role play about the class that you were teaching. And then Ahmed and I, we are co-hosting and the other members. And we want to continue with the same mood, and to get that the next step that the other person is just coming, we face that kind of what we do, Ahmed. And then we don't see what I think about Mohamed wants to say, okay, giving a little presentation about the teacher, for example, says, okay, teacher Claudette is going to be teaching today for us, and her goal, her experience, she's a teacher, and we give like a little presentation for the next teacher that is going to come. So we get separated and we get very specific, and people are going to be more engaged and says, oh, I want to know about that teacher, Claudette. What is she going to teach us? And about the objectives for that, not to tell the person that you want to get the courage to teach a class here, but also have the objective, the goal, and start with a warm-up about what is the objective for the class, and then develop the topic, what is going to be presenting, maybe showing some slides, or maybe some music, or I don't know, whatever they want, just to get involved with the whole group, not to give only the conference and we are just listening, and we have to find out in our mind, how can I participate? How can I get with the other members interactive? And so that is very much fun for the class, and 1 hour can go very quickly, but sometimes I can see about the frustrations as well. What am I going to take with this hour, with this person that doesn't have to give me anything that I want, just to engage? And I want, because some people, they come and says, oh, what is the topic? And finish the class. At the end, it says, oh, the topic is already done and finished, but they spend 1 hour. So, and that is very frustrating. Even for me, it says, the class is over, and then they asking, what is the topic? So it's very confusing. I don't know if that happens for me, but I have listened to some of the members. And then we need to follow about the steps, because you are very clearly when you says, okay, let's have the warm up. Let's look at the camera or some other ideas they can bring it, like Nelly mentioned about number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And then we have at the end the surprises or learnings that they have the feedback in that way. So I think all the other teachers that they want us to do the same. So it's just going like a habit. And so people are aware when the class is over, when the class is just beginning, and what is the developing of the topic. Well, that is my personal opinion, and that is what I would like to share with you. Okay, thank you. Back to the group.
Thank you, Claudette. So that, I think, gives me an idea, which I think is a great idea, to when we invite teachers to teach, any of the teachers, to have to invite those teachers to give us a bio of themselves, a paragraph or two, which tells us who they are. And then when we start their class, to create a transition or to just start the class, it could be the job of the co-hosts to read that bio to the group and say, now we're going to have a class from Claudette. She's, from Mexico. She's been teaching in high schools for 10 years, and she's in, you know what a bio is. And then we just pass it over to them, and that creates a little bit of a frame for them to teach. Yeah. And also the second thing is, I wouldn't take it personally when students are asking at the end of your class what the topic is, because this is just something like the students like to use as a machine gun to shoot at the teachers as many times as possible in it one day. What is the topic? It has nothing to do with whether you've given the topic or not. So I see that there's 3 more minutes to the board of directors only meeting. I want to say, we might want to have comments on this topic, is the one that Claudette just mentioned. And for the agenda item that Mohammed had, say, just, bring it in. We'll in a few minutes, I'm just going to open up the call to everybody, but that includes, the board of directors doesn't have to stay silent, and you can keep talking about the agenda items that we've already been discussing, or the one that number 4, just together with everyone who's in the call. So back to you.
I'd like.
This is Mohammed.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Nelly, then Mohammed.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not certain I understand. James, you had said something that we want teachers to live stream and record their classes, but it's possible to, as a teacher, to request to not live stream. So I didn't understand what you didn't like about my way of bringing this information to teachers.
Yeah, so what I said was the difference between presenting a choice to teachers and considering a default. So I said that for 2 things, both the live streaming and paying teachers. I'm open to teachers not having, not using the live stream, and I'm also open to teachers volunteering and not getting paid. But I am starting from what I want, which is I would like teachers to live stream their classes, and I would like teachers to get paid for teaching. So that's the way I want to invite teachers in. I can, of course, tell them, you could, of course, tell them at the same time that they don't have to do that. But I would like to start with what I want and what I hope we kind of in a unified way as the board of directors, what we want from teachers. I'd like to start from that when we make our invitations to teachers.
Okay.
Mohammed?
Yeah, I'm with you. I was just about to say that item number 4 was indirectly discussed through your last 20 minutes talking. But the main thing is about my suggestion to create a channel in Discord. And this channel can be like two birds and one stone. Let's say a channel for curriculum and teacher training. You can name it something like this, maybe, where teachers can share maybe, for example, Claudette has been teaching for 15 years and she has her own content, her own curriculum. She can share it. Other teacher, name it, whatever, like they may have some content, then we can share it with each other. And we can just suggest training sessions outside of the live streams. As Mukhtar mentioned, some teachers may feel embarrassed to be like trained and corrected and this. We can, for example, create a Google Meet link or a Zoom link for teachers to just train each other. For example, I have an idea. I propose it, I get feedback from my colleagues, and we develop like in a channel. The channel is public for everyone, but the meetings are private. This is the idea, like two things. Sorry, I know you don't like this to talk about two things, but it's okay.
Mind read. I want to respond. So Mike,
Hello, can I?
1 second, Oscar, just 1 second. I have an idea about how to organize Discord. Like I said, I see three factions, three main groups in the group: the students, the teachers, and the board of directors. And I don't know if you realize this, but in Discord, there's folders of channels. And so the first folder is really the channels that are for the students. And then the second has been the channels for the board of directors. And some of those include teachers. I'm going to create a third folder for channels, and that's going to be primarily focused on the teachers. I'm going to move some of those teacher channels out and then add some of the ones that you just suggested, teacher training, teacher scheduling, teacher curriculum in that third place. I'm going to mute you, Blaise. And so now I'd like to open it up to everyone on the call, board of directors, as well as teachers and students. If you'd like to speak, it's open. And Oscar, I heard you wanted to speak. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. This is Oscar. I am from Bissau Guinea. I'm so happy to reach you out today once again. So what's confusing, because I'm hearing a lot of people talking about different kind of organizing group, although I don't know what's going on. Is this teacher meeting or what? This is my question.
Sorry, you said, is this a teacher meeting?
Exactly.
This is a meeting of the board of directors. It's the leadership of the group. The board of directors is made up of Mukhtar, Claudette, Mohammed, Fatima, Nelly, and me, and Ahmed. And we are meeting here every week at this time to discuss the organization of the group. Does that answer your question?
Wow, yeah, you did. So it's very interesting. Although I would like you to give me any charge on the group, because I need also to be a teacher in this group. If I forgot, I haven't told you before. Yeah, I would like to be a teacher too, because I don't have any experience on that, but I would like to be a teacher too, if you don't mind, please. I would like to train first, and then try to become a teacher.
Oscar, and anyone who would like to be a teacher, the first thing I suggest.
Excuse me, Haji.
The first thing I suggest is to join Discord and schedule in Discord with me, Nelly, Ahmed, or Claudette.
Understand? Okay.
Oscar?
Você escreveu errado aqui mesmo.
Oscar, I think you're talking to someone else.
Me. I'm sorry. Let me mute myself.
Well, actually, I'd like to know if you're listening to me, because I was answering. Hold on. Oscar, I'm answering your question. So if you're not available to listen, I want to know that.
No. I mean.
You're there? Okay.
Yes.
So I suggest, if you'd like to be a teacher, you come to Discord, schedule your first hour of teaching in the group with me, Nelly, Claudette, or Ahmed. And that will start you on your road to training with us to be a teacher. Would you do that?
That would be in carnival.
Yeah,
that would be interesting.
Great.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. Okay. Say anyone else, Oscar?
Anyone else? Anybody else? Hello. Can I have a word to Mohammed? Excuse me, James. I would like to have a word with
Let's
Mohammed.
see. let's see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, Mohammed. Good to see you. It's been a long time, my friend. I don't see you. How are you, man?
Oh, thank you so much. I'm fine.
I miss you, man. For real. Anyway, it's nice to bump into you again.
Well, it's nice to meet you, though I can't remember you, and I'm sorry for that.
That's okay. That's okay. No problem. Anyone else?
All right.
Nelly, I just want to say that I'm going off video, but continue to listen and maybe speak.
I want to say something. I want to congratulate us on successfully navigating the conflict between me and Mukhtar over the last 24, 48 hours. I think sometimes, you know, when changes happen, there is turbulence. And even though I know that theoretically, somehow the turbulence always surprises me. So we added Mukhtar to the board of directors, and anytime a group changes, there's a little bit of turbulence, and I think we managed it pretty well.
Welcome, Mohammed.
Anyone else?
Congratulations. It was great
Congratulations.
after conflict.
I'd like to thank you, James, for your understanding. It's a quality when you sometimes, you know, reconsider things. I'd like to add that, you know, I came to the group with a lot of love, and I believe in the group again, and I see that the group is really providing very important services to people who are interested in learning and practicing and improving not only English, but also teaching skills and social skills as well. So that's why when I joined, I thought that took it as my responsibility to you, to the member of borders, and to the members of the group that I mean, I should be serious about it. And that's it. I simply like to discuss things and share them together, and it has become our dream, not just yours. It was yours. You know, I joined the group in just after the clash you had with the other. Maybe it was during the clash you had with the former group, and I saw it. I witnessed it. You know, maybe. Starting and moving ahead, and I like that, and I believe in it, and I see that you know, great work can be done here. So you know, that's why I'm just get involved with 100% in the group.
Well done, Mukhtar. I like it.
Yep.
Actually, in the Discord board of director, I see the message, a lot of the message. Oh my gosh, what's happened? I was working in the camp because after I see a lot of the messages, I don't focus on my working in the camp. I left everything and I came back to my home.
You missed one most important thing, Ahmed.
Ahmed is a cornerstone in the group, I guess. I mean, that's what I think.
For sure. For sure.
Well, thank you so much for the meeting today, and thank you. And I know we always come to the board of directors with a lot of enthusiastic and many changes and many things, but we have to slow down. We learn it from James. Yes, thank you, James. Thank you so much for today. I need to leave. It's already 1 hour and I have other classes to do. I don't want. It's Friday. Yeah.
Thank you for coming, Claudette. It's always great to see you. And I know, just before you go, I like to invite the members of the board of directors to become trained in hosting Zooms, calls and Zoom live streams and starting the live stream and being an admin in the Facebook group. So let's plan to do that. We don't need much time, maybe 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes for people who have not yet done that. And I think that is only Claudette and Mokhtar right now. If I'm wrong, correct me, but let's the three of us plan just a time where we can do that.
Yes, okay.
If you're
bye-bye.
interested.
Thank you.
Bye, bye,
James,
Claudette.
excuse me, can
Bye,
James,
Claudette.
one question, please.
We're not, bye. Oscar, we're not ending. We have 20 more minutes to this meeting.
All right.
And then
Yes.
after, one second. And then after this, Mokhtar is teaching his class. A reading group is meeting for 1 hour. So we're not ending anytime soon. Go ahead, Oscar. And then, yeah. And
Okay, I will.
Oscar and then Aude. Go ahead, Oscar, first.
Okay, just I would like to make me as one of the WhatsApp administrator because I have a lot of friends who want to join our platforms. So I would like to be one of them. If you don't care, excuse me.
Well, so I'm not making anyone else an admin in WhatsApp, but if you want to invite them to WhatsApp, give them the link. It's in the links channel in Discord. If you don't have that, maybe someone will put, it's in the chat right now. You can give them that WhatsApp link and tell them to message me in WhatsApp and I will add them. I will add your friends, or you can message me in WhatsApp with their numbers. I will add them for you. Go ahead.
I just want to say, excuse me, sir.
Go ahead, Aude, and then Nani.
No, I won't take much time. I just want to say that it is a kind of a suggestion. When sometimes we don't catch up early with the Zoom meeting, so if there's a topic or a subject of discussion, I hope that it would be put in clear position either on the screen or in the chat. Okay, that's my suggestion. That's all.
So your suggestion, Aude, is for somebody, maybe the teacher or the co-host, to regularly update the chat so that when people join a call late, a Zoom call late, they know they have some idea of what's going on there.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, thank you,
Yes.
Aude. Nani?
You're welcome.
Nani Indonesia. One, I'm preparing to say give feedback rather than correction. They're all teachers, so you give feedback. What we know about, this is a very positive aura for the teacher to accept that. That's one thing. And the second, as James is the signer source of the group, the magnetic of the group. So I love to see the both director work together. So James has more tentacles to manage all the group. Then I believe that way, the coordination between James and the tentacles. Sorry, I used that one. The terminology. Gonna work together. So there's gonna be one soul in one body, James Green class, English class. So hopefully with many more ideas in this meeting, we're gonna see a lot of progress and good things, and with a better quality with the presentation and topic and the teachers, everything. And I hope this all gonna run well. And good luck.
Thank you so much, Nani.
This is Muhammad. I've just kept something in mind that happened during the hour of our board. Maybe because there was a lot of energy, we didn't like discuss it. You asked if someone is ready to post the link of YouTube on Facebook. Yeah, and yeah, I just want to say I'll handle it. I want to check, is that right first? Is that what you said?
Yeah, absolutely. If you were to go to YouTube when the live stream starts, take the link and then just post it into Facebook and make it a featured post, that would take one step off of me and help me. Yeah.
All right. From tomorrow, I'll do it, like starting from tomorrow.
Great.
Oh, one more thing. My experience through YouTube, I don't know. Nelly has a bit kind of worried about his face camera in the camera, but it's different with me. My students saw it and they just, can I join? Can I join? Yeah, just join. I said. So it's kind of like what is it? Spreading more information about the group because they saw me there. I have no worries about that.
I have some news actually. Two things. So you all know that I started a new job in the last month, and so I've been working there and I've been learning about my organization and the people that we serve. My organization has a certain goal, and if students join our classes in James Green's English Classroom and are living in the United States, they don't have to be living in New York, just living in the United States, I can bring them into some of my projects that I'm doing for the nonprofit. So I just want to let you know, because I really would like to know from now on if any of the students in our group are living in the United States, because then I have some special options that I can start to take advantage of, and it might be interesting. So I know it's pretty rare, but there have been people who have been studying English and who have said, you know, that they're living in the United States. I can't remember right now who they were, but if people remember or find out later, I would love to know.
This is Ahmed. I think that's a woman from Ukraine live in the United States. I remember that.
Okay, I'm sure there are. And if you don't know who they are now, don't worry about it, but just keep it in mind. The other thing, this is just a thought that I want to put out there. It's kind of maybe a request for help. And I put it under the umbrella of promotional planning. There's a lot of Discord groups that are probably involved in English, teaching, English learning. I am not a member of any of them. So if any of you know of Discord groups, like, you know, we have some connections with Facebook groups, we have some connections with WhatsApp groups, and even like now, I started posting our videos on YouTube. Some people, English teachers on YouTube contacted me and said, hi, my students have been watching your classes and enjoying them. And then I went to look at their YouTube channel, and they have lots of videos and lots of followers. And so there's there's just endless opportunities for networking and bringing people in as we get more organized. So it's just something I wanted to mention to keep in mind, to keep an eye out for. back to you.
I'm sorry, James. I'd like to raise the point here of copyrighted books. I mean, I have problem here in Tunisia that I don't have access to PayPal and buying books from Amazon, for example. And I'm not sure if the books I'm using now are copyrighted. So I'd like if you or anybody else, I mean, make sure, for example, if I need a copyrighted digital copy of a book, maybe to work on in the group here, can provide that.
I think that's a great question. I don't have an answer for that in my mind. I don't know of any open source English textbooks, but I haven't done any research about it. I'm sure there are. I don't know which ones there are. I don't know which ones are good, but if I don't know, maybe other people do.
Excuse me, I want to respond, Muhtar.
Yeah.
Which kind of, okay, I think I have some textbook on my computer. So I would like to know which kind of textbook would you like to have?
Thank you, Oscar. But the problem is with copyrighted digital books. I'm thinking, for example, of Destination, a book for grammar and vocabulary for different levels. I find it very, very interesting and useful. And I'm thinking of, if possible, maybe I can give grammar and vocabulary lessons here. But I'm not sure about how to use the book I have, because I'm not sure if it is copyrighted. So the problem is sharing the book on Zoom can cause an issue maybe of copyright.
Okay, I understood. So I have some grammar books here on my computer, even here on my cell phone. If you don't mind, or if you would like to see them, I will send them to you.
Thank you very much. Just make sure that they are just make sure that they are copyrighted.
Okay, I think they are. So you have to drop me a line. You have to text me. Then I will try to send them to you.
Are you on Discord already?
Yeah, no, I'm not there. No, I'm not there, but I can send you my WhatsApp number. No, I can send it to my WhatsApp number. Then I will try to send you the copyright books. Try to check them if they are favorable to you or not.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, I'm gonna send you my WhatsApp number right now.
I like to teach from the Plato's Apology, and that is something that is open source. I know it's not a textbook, but it's a book, and of course there's lots of open source or books whose copyright has expired, or there is no copyright. So I don't know if that's useful, but I have been keeping that in mind. Back to you, back to the group. And actually, we'll take last comment, and then in a minute or so, we'll do a board of directors surprise and learnings to end.
This is Muhammad. Just quickly, you can check if the book or resource is copyrighted or not by looking usually at the very bottom of the introduction page. If you see like this circle, see with circle, then it's copyrighted. If you don't say it, I guess not.
Excuse me, can you repeat what you said? I don't understand. Excuse me, Muhammad. Can you repeat what you said?
Yeah, I said if the book is copyrighted, you should see the icon of copyrights, which is, I can describe it, the C letter within a circle, inside a circle. It is copyrighted. Then you cannot use it without the permission of the owner or the permission of the publisher. That's it. Clear?
Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay, thank you.
Anything else on the issue of copyright before we go to surprises and learnings? Okay. surprises, learnings, satisfactions, dissatisfactions, discoveries, next moves on our board of directors meeting?
This is Mohammed. I'm very satisfied that today you as a chair opened the last 30 minutes for both board of directors and observers. I see it's very beneficial, and it was like better. It is better from the previous time where we just observers in the last 30 minutes. I'm very satisfied and I like it. I hope next meeting will do the same.
Yeah, it was a learning for me. The first time it was just board. The second time it was maybe unplanned invitation of the public. And then the third time maybe planned, and then now some more integration. And that's how it goes, learning, progressing each time just little by little. So I'm also satisfied with how it went. Other surprises, learnings?
Nani,
This
the-
is Ahmed.
Nani, then Ahmed.
Okay, me too. Surprise both and satisfaction. When I noticed this meeting, this time meeting, it really surprised me with the result, with the material that you've been discussed, and hopefully gonna work together. I can be a silent observer still instead of a student. I love to be a silent observer rather than join in other. So that might be really good for me. And hopefully all of you success with this program, and any kind of evaluation you have to do inside just belong James and between James and the board directors and other teachers. Hopefully it's gonna manage well, so there's no other conflict anymore. Good luck.
This is Ahmed. So actually, I am very satisfied about what to do. Every finishing the board of director meeting, we keep going to the next move. About that, I am satisfied to develop this group. Hopefully, in the future, we have the big group and the big student and the big teacher. About these guests, about everything today, I am satisfied. My next move, I have suggestion for the board of director. You must have the schedule of the board of director teaching. I think that all the member of the board of director working as a teacher, when you give the opportunity for the board of director to teach the class and have the schedule for the board of director, I think that's is very good. That's a new idea. For me, I am not a teacher, but I try to develop my English language. When you give me this opportunity, that's my honor to teach the class. That's my next move. Thank you so much.
Can I just clarify that, Ahmed? You would like the board of directors, you'd like everyone on the board to be teaching.
Exactly. Every member of the board of director, you must teach the class, and that we have the schedule all the week. Every day, one member of the board of directors teach the class.
Can I distinguish between that the board of directors must teach versus the board of directors, you know, if they would like to, are welcome to teach? Because I have understood that the board of directors is already all welcome to teach if they want, and I am waiting eagerly for you to schedule your first class, Ahmed.
Yes.
Okay. Final surprises, learnings.
Can I say something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's Mukhtar again. I'm surprised. This is my first meeting with you, so I'm surprised and satisfied. Actually, the meeting is really serious and professional, as far as I see it, and this is great.
All right. And on that wonderful note, let's end the board of directors meeting. I'm going to pass it over to Mukhtar for the reading group now. And
can I say something?
Oh, sure. Go ahead, Sue.
Yeah, hello, how are you? This is Salwa Su from Egypt. I have I surprised about the meeting, and you were very professional, all of you, and you discussed a lot of things, important things. But I have a suggestion. If you want anyone to be a teacher, I suggest to make trainers to help them how to teach.
I don't know if you were
About-
here. I don't know if you were here, Salwa, but we've already discussed that a little bit. There's going to be some channels that open up in Discord for teacher training, planning,
Yeah.
scheduling of teacher curriculums. So maybe stay involved.
I
stay
think
involved.
that's for the teacher, so just for the teacher. I think that
Yeah.
who wasn't a teacher or he isn't a teacher. They don't know a lot of things about teaching.
Yeah. Well, that's part of what it's for. It's for people who want to become teachers and start what I would call like a teacher apprenticeship, where they are teaching and learning at the same time, giving each other feedback. But we've already talked about that, so I'm going to end for now. Stay in touch and involved, and we could learn more about what we're doing with that. Thank you, and over to you, Mukhtar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We stay in touch next time, James. Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. So this is Mukhtar, member of James Green's English Classroom group. I like reading, and I've met in the group a group of interesting people who share the same passion with me. And we are now reading a book called, a novel called The Book of Two Ways, written by an American author called Judy Picoult. And we're working on two levels. We have a weekly, we have a weekly Zoom call here on Friday at 5:30 UTC. And we have also two subgroups on Discord, one for sharing the passages of the book and one for reacting and relating to those passages. So please, if you are on Discord, join our groups on Discord. And it's true that we are reading the book together, but the Zoom session is open for all of the members in James Green's English Classroom group. And there are activities where everybody can participate and can learn. We're going to do three different activities to get to today. One, we're going to relate to the passages we worked on last Friday. Two, we're going to move to the new passages we're going to see today. And three, we're going to discuss some of the issues in the book. Right, I'm going to share my screen with the group. Okay. Right. Activity one is about the characters of the novel we are reading, The Book of Two Ways. So far, we've met some of the characters, maybe the main characters already. Okay, I need to add, we have a list here. Can you see my screen? Please, I'd like you to confirm this.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And yes, I forget to add yet. So these are the main characters that we've seen so far. Ms. Adelstein, Don McDowell, Brian, Merritt, Karen, and Wyatt. I'd like to really who is already reading the book with us and like to say something about Ms. Adelstein. many members who are reading the book already. Ms. Adelstein. Anyone from the passionate readers who are reading the book with me is here and would like to say who is Ms. Adelstein? Anyway, actually, Ms. Adelstein, I'm going to do that by myself. Maybe it's a bit awkward at the beginning of the session, but it's fine. Ms. Adelstein is also Dawn McDowell. The main character, actually the main character of the book is also the narrator. So she introduces her, exactly, that's her job. So Dawn McDowell is, thank you, Rahma, is, can you say that again to the group?
She was a death doula.
Exactly. Who is she, Dawn McDowell or Ms. Adelstein?
Dawn McDowell.
Great.
Just to be yeah.
Yeah, and it happens that Dawn McDowell is also Ms. Adelstein. It's the same character. In one of the passages of the prologue that we worked on, the narrator introduces herself in two different ways. Ms. Adelstein, after the name of the family name of her husband, and Dawn McDowell is her own family name. McDowell is her own family name. And I don't know if any of you here would like to say something about that. When the narrator introduces herself in two different ways, can this mean something to you? Can this mean anything to you, maybe? For those who are reading the book with me, as well as any other participant in the group, if you're reading a book, a novel, and like it happens here, the main character, who is the narrator at the same time, introduces herself in two different ways, in the same paragraph, maybe. She does this.
Hello, this is Oscar.
Yes, Oscar, hi.
Okay, although this is my first time to join your class, but I'm so happy to be here with you today.
Thank you.
So I would like to share my own understanding, which you have asked about this question. The person has introduced himself in different ways, which is two ways, McDowell and the Dawn McDowell.
Exactly.
I think, you know, in some countries or in some religion, people used to have more than 3 names or 5 names. There's some names we call like family name, or the same name we call nicknames and our real names. I think Dawn McDowell, these 2 names, the one could be like the family name or the other could be like nickname. This is what I think.
Yeah, thank you very much. Anyone else?
Ari. This is Rahma. Oh.
Yeah, Rahma, please.
I think Ari was first. Go on, Ari.
Yeah. You can go first, Rahma.
No, you can go first.
Ari, okay. Ari goes first.
Okay, I think the way the writer mentioning this character into names is a way to, you know, to tell the reader that there's going to be different story between Adelstein and Dowell, which is the past and the future, the present time, sorry. And then there is a moment when these 2 names will change, and that's related to the book of 2 ways, isn't it?
Very interesting. Yeah, thank you. Rahma, please.
I think Adelstein or McDonald introducing herself as one person but in 2 ways is sort of a twist. She's shadowing and giving us the feel of curiosity to know what is coming next, what is going to unfold. Will she be into explain herself or not? Will she be accountable? Yeah. Will she be accountable or not? Yeah.
Great. We're going to know the answer for these two different introduction later in the book. Maybe when we go further in reading the book, we're going to see if, as Ari says, you know, the book is going to take us in two different personalities, two different people for the same person, maybe, but maybe two different lives, maybe. We're going to see together in the future passages if this is the case. I'd like also to see, here we have Dawn, it should be Dawn McDowell Adelstein, like, you know, her family name, and then her husband's family name. Is this common in your countries that a woman, when they get married, they just use their husband's family names instead of their own? And what do you think about it?
This is Muhammad.
Yes, Muhammad, please.
Yeah, I believe if a lady does that, it almost means that she's very loyal to her husband. She loves him maybe a lot. Yeah, but I just wanted to comment on the first question. Is it okay?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because something a little bit funny came to my mind when you first asked, when she presented herself in two different ways. To be honest, the first thing that came to my mind that she has a disorder called schizophrenia. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know someone who has schizophrenia, and they like sometimes they say, "Oh, I am Josh," then they say, "No, I'm John," something like that.
That's one other. Yeah, that's one other possibility. We're going to find out when we keep reading the book, and we invite you, Muhammad, to read the book with us. That will be
that's my honor.
A great pleasure to us. Thank you very much. Again, the passages are shared on a subgroup on Discord called the Book of Two Ways already. Then the next character is Brian. Who is Brian in the book?
I believe that's Miss Adelstein's husband at the present time.
Yes, Brian is Dawn's husband. Any information you still remember about Brian? His job, maybe?
He used to work in the physics lab.
Yeah, actually, it's not a club. It's he's a physicist and a physics teacher at university. But you're right. It's, you know, he's a physicist. Great. So so we have Mark Dole, a Death Dola. Are you familiar with this job? What a Death Dola is? I'm asking all the members in all the participants here. It's not necessarily those who are reading the book with me, but for the rest of the group, are you familiar with this job? Death Dola. I'm going to write it here. Maybe she's a Death Dola. Honestly, it was the first time, you know, the first time I knew about this job is when I read the book. A Death Dola is someone who accompany people who are in final stages, maybe suffering from advanced cancer, and who know that they are dying, and they need, in addition to a doctor and a nurse, they might need someone to accompany them, do some different services, a variety of services to them. We're going to read about this job further in the future in the novel. So we have Mark Dole, the Death Dola and the main character of the novel. Brian, her husband, a physicist and a physics teacher. Then we have Merit. Does anyone in the group here remember who Merit is?
That's Dawn's daughter.
Exactly. Thank you, Ari. That's Don's daughter. She's a teenager. Karen is also mentioned, but only once in the prologue. I'm not sure if you remember Karen, but so far he's not a very important character, but he's her brother. Okay? Don's brother. Wyatt, on the other hand, is an important character, and we're going to see a lot of him in the future. Who is Wyatt? What do you know about him? Yes, please. Rahma, maybe, if you're still here. Ari.
One
Anyone
is
else? Yes.
someone that comes from Don's past.
Mm-hmm. That's a good introduction, right? Right. So Wyatt is he seems to be maybe her former lover.
An archaeologist?
Yeah. And his job is an archaeologist. He's, he was and still is in Egypt, working as an archaeologist, working on ancient Egyptian tombs and civilization. Who in the group here would like to sum up, maybe in a few sentences, what events we've seen and we've read about in the prologue?
About Wyatt?
About the whole thing, say summarize what we have read in the prologue and make sure that it is a good summary to attract more participants here to read the book with us. It's a kind of publicity for the book.
Let me try.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so there is Don McDowell, who is known now as Miss Adelstein, and in the prologue, the writer put her story begins. The story begins as Dawn is on a plane, and then the plane has a crash, something like that. And during the moment, Dawn remembered Wyatt, remembered all the other people she has helped as that doula. Something like that.
Yeah, that's a great. Maybe Rahma would like to add more. Yeah, Maruf?
Yes.
Yes, please.
This is right down McDowell. His plane was crashed. But the surprise, instead to go to join his family, he go directly to Egypt for finding his lover Archelaus.
That's a good transition. I thank you very much, Maru, for this. Yes, so the book starts in a plane crash. The main character survived the plane crash. And instead of going back to Boston, where her family, her husband, her daughter, her brother live, she decided to go to Egypt to her former lover. And the narrator uses two verbs. She said that I wanted to go to Egypt, to Boston, but I needed to go to Egypt. Do you find this telling, important?
I think she was weighing her options of what is more important.
So for her, you're saying that, yeah, come on, Rahma. I thought you've done.
It is sort of confusing because she's weighing what is important at the same time she must have a necessity to go to the other country. So if the other country it's not eligible just there and then good. It's
good.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I see. So I'd like to ask the whole participants here, mainly those who are not reading the book with us. What do you think of a woman who decides to leave her family and run to her former lover? What judgment would you have, towards her?
This is Muhammad.
Yeah, Muhammad, please.
Yeah, I just want to inquire, is she married? Like
yes,
her family?
She's married. Yeah, she's married and she has a daughter. Brian is her husband, Merritt is her daughter. They live in Boston. She was traveling to the UK. There was a plane crash. She was one of the few survivors. Then instead of going back to her husband and daughter and to her life as a death doula, she decided to go back to go to Egypt, where she had been 15 years ago, and where her former lover is still living there.
Yeah, I just asked this question because it matters. Like if she's not married, it's okay to go back to her ex. But if she's married, it's like a big deal. Yeah, my first impression when I've heard this story, like a woman going back to her ex-lover, I might think of her as a cheater, a betrayer maybe. But if there is an exception, which is like her husband is dealing with her in a bad way, maybe harassing or misusing her, yeah, then it's okay. Like she has an excuse. Otherwise, to me, she's a cheater. Back to you.
But as a reader, you're open maybe to listen from her, right? And see.
Yeah, sure. Now I'm curious to know the story. To be honest, I'm very curious, and I will read it like on my own. Like I read it on my own, and then like cope up with you because you're maybe you've read like many pages.
No, not many pages. Not many pages. Just a few passages. You can find them shared on the Book of Two Ways on Discord.
Then I decide to just follow you, read the previous ones, and then cope up with you. All right.
Here is a new passionate reader joining the group. Thank you very much. Good. Any other maybe reaction to this? To a woman leaving her family and running to her lover, would you judge her? Would you listen to her? Would you think of excuses like what Muhammad has just done? He said, yeah, she sounded like a cheater, but maybe she has her own reasons. Maybe her husband is treating her bad or badly, I'm sorry, and she's just leaving him. Anybody else here is ready, is willing to share with us his opinion about a point like this?
Well,
yes. Who is it?
I think someone's put something on the chat.
Oh, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't see the chat. It can be a bit confusing to me. I like to focus on the live here.
I think there is an extreme reason. Sorry, an extreme. There is a reason that she needs to follow her needs than what she wants.
Yeah, that's the way she presents. She said it is a need, not a.
May I add into Ari's view?
Oh, please, Rahma.
I think this woman calculated her moves wisely, in my opinion, because no one in her right state of mind would just, leave her family, her kids, and go to an ex-lover. She weighed in, she was like, it is between a need and a want. So I might want something, but I'm going to have it for just, a couple of hours and it's done. But if I need something, so that's why I stick to the importance. She weighed through. And so it was much important for her to go to her ex-lover than just, wanting to stay with her family. So it is also giving us the curiosity that there is much more untold truth as to why. So we keep on reading the book and we shall reveal, it will reveal much more. Yeah, thank you.
Good. All right. This is again another transition. We're moving to the first passage for today. I'm going to share a different document with you. Right. Okay, passage 1. Actually, I asked during the week some of the group members to read aloud different passages. Maruf is going to read the second passage. Yes, Maruf, would you please confirm this to me? Maruf? Maruf, are you here? Okay, I'm not right. I think he's not listening. Rahma, you
sorry.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm here, but I'm unmuted myself. Sorry.
Right. Good. Yeah. You said you're going to read the second passage, right?
Yes.
Great. Rahma, passage 3. Would you please confirm that?
Yes, please.
Okay. And Ari, passage 4, right? Ari? Ari?
I believe that will be Afros.
No, yeah, it's Afroz. Yes, Afroz, are you here?
Yes, sure. I'm going to read fourth one.
Passage 4.
Yes, I'm going to read fourth passage.
Yeah, and we need someone to read passage 1, by the way. Here, I mean,
Nani.
Nani, great. All right, and that's a pleasure to have you read for the group. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Again, passage 1, maybe before starting, I'd like you please to read, have a look at the title, Land Egypt, she says. And this is how the book is divided. Chapter 1 is Land Egypt. Chapter 2 is Water Boston, then Land Egypt, then Water Boston. I'm not going to spoil this to you. I'd like you to read and find out why the chapters are using land and water and Egypt and Boston. I like you, while reading the book, to think about
That kind of question.
It's an open question for future reading. But for you, you're going to read passage 1, which is a poem. Can you see this? Can you see the screen clearly, Nani?
I just need to scroll down when it come to the bottom one and zoom it so a bit bigger. Okay.
I'm sorry, we can't hear you really well.
Can you hear me now?
Some time. Okay, you need some time. All right, fine.
Oh, the speaker.
Right. So passage 1 is a poem. Actually, if you look at the bottom of the passage, from the tomb of Neferhotep, as translated by Professors Colleen and John Darnell, the 27th of June, 2022. So it's an ancient Egyptian poem translated to English. And it is written or carved on the tomb of Neferhotep, one of the pharaohs, one of the kings of Egypt.
So, but I have to consider the question and.
Yeah, just read. You're going to read loud the poem.
Okay.
Yes?
Okay, just read first.
Yeah, just read.
It's a poem, not a context, normal context.
The poem, yes.
I try.
Okay.
Okay. I need to read from the topic land Egypt.
I have, yeah. You're going to read from the first line. I have heard, yes.
Oh, you
this
already
song.
read the topic. Okay. I have heard these songs that are in an ancient tombs. What they say about aggrandizing, the one
Yeah, I
on
don't know.
and diminishing the necropolis. But why is such done against the land of the dead?
She isn't audible. Huh?
It's fine. We can just. And Annie, would you please make sure that your sound.
Am I clear now?
Yeah, you're clear now. Okay.
Oh, I repeat from third line.
But why is such?
Oh yeah, okay, fourth line. But why is such done against the land of eternity? A just and righteous place without peace. Mayhem, it is very abomination. No one dare dreads another. This land without an opponent.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. This land without an opponent.
Is where all of our families rest since the beginning of time. Those who will be born after millions and millions all shall go to it. From the tombs of Neferhotep, as translated by Professor Colin and John Garner.
Thank you, Nell. Thank you, Nanny. I'm sorry.
Nanny,
Thank you very much. It's an honor to have you reading for the group. And okay, we'll continue reading the other passages, then we go back and work on the different activities related to every passage.
Okay.
The second, thank you very much. Maruf is going to read the second passage. My mother, who lived and died by superstition.
Okay. My mother, who lived and died by superstitions, used to make us stay together before we went on a trip. We are not going anywhere. It was meant to trick the devil. I can't say I believe in the kind of thing. But then again, I didn't say it before I left home. And look at where that got me. Walking outside of a airport in Cairo in August feels like stepping onto the surface of the sun, even late at night. The heat is a knife on your skin and comes in pressing waves. I can already feel a line of sweat running down my spine. I did not come prepared for this. I find myself in the middle of other people's transitions, rampled. Does the group of tourists being herded in their minivan, a chain dragging dark-tapped luggage from the back of an open car to the court, a woman securing her head scarf as it blows in the breeze.
Thank you very much. That's impressive. Thank you. Thank you very much, Maruf.
Welcome.
All right. Passage 3, a bit long. All right. Rahma, the floor is yours. Sorry.
Suddenly. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Suddenly, I am surrounded by men. Taxi, they bark. You need taxi? There's no hiding the fact that I'm a Westerner. It's clear from my red hair to my cargo pants and sneakers. I nod, making eye contact with one of them, a driver with thick mustache and a long-sleeved striped shirt. The other taxi drivers fall back, seagulls in search for another crumb. You have a suitcase? I shake my head. Everything I have is in the small bag I carry over my shoulder. American? A man replies, and I nod. A wide, white grin splits his face. Welcome to Alaska. It is startling to think that 15 years have passed, but that lame joke is still the go-to gag for visitors. I get into the back seat of his car. Take me to Ramesses. To Ramesses train station, I say. How long? 15 minutes, inshallah. Shukran, I reply. Thank you. I'm stunned at how quickly the Arabic comes to my lips. There must be a space in the brain that stores the information you assumed you would never need again. Like the lyrics to MacArthur Park, or how to multiply matrices, or in my case, anything Egyptian. When Merit was little, she used to say, last day. When Merit was little, she used to say, last day, which might mean 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago. And that is why I am right now. Like I stepped back into the moment that was left behind when I abandoned this country, like it was waiting all this time for me to return.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you very much. Last passage for Afroz. Ready, Afroz?
Yes, ready.
Thank you.
I think something is missing. It starts from
with the window down.
With the window down, I can already feel the settling on me. In Egypt, everything is covered in sand. Your shoes, your skin, and air you breathe. It even gets in your food. The teeth of mummies are worn down by it. Although it is nighttime, Cairo is alive in all its contradiction. On the highway, cars shares the space with donkey carts. Butcher shops with meat hanging outside cozy up beside souvenir stands. A souped-up muscle car zooms past, leaving a throb of rap music in its wake that tangles with the loudspeaker reverb of the Salat Isa, the nightly Muslim call to prayer. We drive along the Nile, rescuing on its banks. Finally, Ramses stations come into view. 50 pounds, the driver says. There are no set taxi fares in Egypt. The driver tells you how much he thinks the ride is worth. I pass him 40 pounds as a counter offer and get out of the car. He gets out too and starts yelling at me in Arabic. Shukran. I tell him Shukran. Even though this scene is common and nobody bats an eye, I feel my pulse racing and as I walk up to the train station. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd like also to say that maybe by next time, inshallah, we're going to make it open to other members here, to other participants here in the call, if they'd like to give it a try and read aloud. For now, we're going to do it a different way. We're going to, let me see if I can do that. Right. Okay. I'm going to share two documents on my screen, and we're going to work on some vocabulary tasks. All right. To make sure that okay. Here are the two different documents. We have passage one here to the left, then to the right. No, not this document. I'm sorry, not this one. should be this one here. Yeah. Mm. Okay. Here it is. Right, we have synonyms here of words from passage 1. I'd like you to find a word in passage 1 that means a grave.
A tomb.
A tomb. Thank you, Nanny. Thank you. Line 1, I've heard this song that are in ancient tombs. A grave. A tomb is a grave. Right. Second word is a verb, to exaggerate, to enlarge, to increase.
That's aggrandizing.
Exactly. Yes. What they say about aggrandizing the one on earth and diminishing the necropolis.
But very benefit.
Yeah, cemetery or graveyard. What's the word? Necropolis. Yeah, that's an advanced word. Virtuous.
Mayhem.
Just
wait.
a line before, one line before. An adjective.
Righteous.
Exactly.
Righteous. Yeah.
Righteous. Yes. A just and righteous place without fear.
Here, yeah.
Chaos, disorder, anarchy.
Abomination. Oh, no, wait.
Exactly.
Is that right? Oh, okay.
The word was
Abomination.
mentioned already, but if it's not abomination and it is just before it, it should be
Mayhem.
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 Exactly. Mayhem is its very abomination. Hatred, loathing.
This one is abomination.
Exactly. This one is abomination. Mayhem, chaos is its very abomination. A verb now, to fear.
Still passage 1, yeah?
I'm sorry, Nanny, can you say that again?
I mean, still in the passage 1.
Yeah, passage 1. We are still in passage 1. This is the last word in the list here. It's in passage 1.
Must be
I believe
dread.
Oh, yeah. That's
Dread, exactly. No one there dreads another. Exactly. So grave, tomb, exaggerate, aggrandize, cemetery or graveyard, necropolis, virtuous, righteous, chaos, mayhem, hatred, abomination, and to fear, to dread. So, what's the topic of the passage 1? What's the topic of the poem?
Land Egypt.
Yes, Nanny, please, can you just make sure that we can hear you comfortably?
Land Egypt.
The topic is about, yes, I mean, the topic of the poem. Is it, you see the topic, you said the topic is about the land of Egypt. Not exactly, Nanny.
Is it about necropolis, graveyard, the eternal place of everyone, maybe?
He says, I have heard this song that are in ancient tombs, what they say about aggrandizing the one on earth, exaggerating, increasing the one on earth. What does maybe the poet mean by the one on earth? And diminishing the necropolis. Aggrandizing, we have the opposite is diminishing. The one on earth, the other side, we have the necropolis. People are aggrandizing the one on earth, but diminishing those.
Maybe pharaohs.
Ancient pharaohs.
What
No.
about them?
I think this one speaks
Egypt
about life and death.
Sorry,
I think-
is that who's speaking? Would you please just stand up with your name? Because I can't see you.
Ari, Indonesia.
Ari, yes, Ari, please.
I believe this poem is talking about life and death.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. Would you like to elaborate on that? It seems like the writer, if you look at line 4, but why is such done against the land of eternity? It seems like the poet here is blaming people for something.
Giving more value to temporary life on earth and
Yes.
underestimating the eternal life, which is after death.
Exactly, yes. He's blaming people to give value and importance to life at the expense of death. Say why they say about they are aggrandizing the one on earth, aggrandizing people who are alive and diminishing the necropolis, the dead people.
Yeah.
He says, this is, but why is such done against the land of eternity? A just and righteous place with fear, without fear, I'm sorry. So no fear, no chaos, no one there dreads another. This land without an opponent is where all of our families rest. Since the beginning of time, those who will be born after millions and millions, all shall go to it. So it seems that the poet here is giving more value to the afterlife rather than to life, as it is the place where people are going to have their final rest and live and maybe rest for millions and millions of years ahead. Good. We're moving on to the next passage. Here it is. This is the next passage. Right, I'm going to, first of all, we have a word in line 1, my mother who lived and died by superstitions. Are you familiar with this word? Superstitions.
Superstition.
Yes.
That's the meaning underneath at the bottom.
Exactly, yes, exactly. Superstition is the belief that particular event has happened in a way that cannot be explained by reason or science. The belief that particular events or behavior or actions bring good or bad luck. Do you have superstitions in your societies, in your cultures?
Yeah. Yes, we
Plenty
do.
here in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Nani laughing.
No need to ask. They are the master here.
This is the master of superstitions. You know, we can't compete. We can't compete on that.
Okay.
What about other people?
The same.
Same.
The same. Almost the same in Azerbaijan.
Yes. I would like to share an example of superstition in their countries, in their
I
countries.
can share Wong on behalf of Wong. Wong
Yes.
said in the about refurbishing her house, but the superstition said don't do any renovation this month. It's gonna be bad for you. So he asked back to the group, what do you think? I said, I against all of the superstition, just go with your renovation. So I still have contact with them.
One is enough.
Yeah, now it's in a progress now. Did you find any bad?
So the idea is that, Nanny, the idea here is that people shouldn't refurbish their houses because it can bring bad luck.
Yeah, that's by the superstition. He came to one place because in Vietnam they believed on that way. If you want to do something really important like renovation, like building house or about baby something, she told me they asked superstition. Then if they keep a paper, oh you cannot do that, blah blah blah. And just confused because you already prepared the money and everything. Then you got the paper. Then he asked back to the group. Then he said, "What do you think this?" And I said, "Go with your purposing rather than believe your superstition. I don't believe in this." Then now it's going on. It's in progress. See? Did you find any bad thing? No, Nani. That's going on. So I found one in Vietnam, but
Good.
one, but I found
Thank
many
you,
in
Nani.
Indonesia.
It's very common in Vietnam.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Who else among the participants here would like to share a superstition that is common
Hello?
in your country? Yes,
Hello,
please.
this is Asu from Iraq.
Yes, hello, Asu.
I guess the superstition of knocking the wood when in the Middle East, they used to say when they praise someone, and they fear that he may get harm of the envy or infected by envy. So they knock the wood beside them, any kind of piece of wood, they knock it to prevent that person from being affected by envy. Yes, another thing is that I heard about throwing salt is also in some societies to prevent evil act from affecting on somebody. So they actually they do that with the groom and the bride and the day of wedding. So they threw salt on their shoulders to prevent them from any evil act they might happen to them. To them.
Thank you,
Yes.
Asu. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else would like to share a superstition very common in their countries? One more. One more.
Oh, too many.
Would you-
Other participants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe.
May I? Rahma
Maybe
speaking.
Ahmad, please. Yeah.
One common superstition, not really one common, there's so many, but I'll just share in one. Is for some of us who are early workers, yani we wake up early to go for work. So
Early work.
when you wake up very early, probably at 5 a.m. in the morning, and the first person you set your eyes on is a woman, I mean, just turn back, run, get back to your house. Otherwise, your day is going to be a bad one at work. You're not gonna get money. So that's one thing.
Nargis, do you share this same thing in your country? Nargis, you say I saw you saying something.
No, thank God.
Not a woman. Well, we have something very close. We have something very close to this in Tunisia, but it's not related to women, but to specific people. Some people,
Yeah,
I mean,
the same
in
we have.
family or a
Within that
neighbor
some-
or a neighbor can be a man or a woman or a child or whatever that is known to be I mean, that he or she brings bad luck. So if you see him the first thing in the morning, just go back to sleep, right? Okay. Here we have, but look at, okay, maybe the next question is, do you believe in superstition?
Voice, Mokhtar.
Nani?
No, I don't.
You don't. Rahma? Rahma, what
No,
about
I
you?
don't. No,
You
I don't. I'm a
Oh,
staunch Muslim, so I don't believe in that. I do believe it is there, but I do not take it as something, deep in me to take on.
Yeah.
It is
look-
there, yes. I believe witchcraft is there, superstitions are there, but I do not believe that such and such can happen to me.
Now, let's have a look at how Dawn reacted to this. She said, my mother used to make us. Would you please, I don't know who's- Muhammad, please, would you just, okay. So, And let's have a look at how Dawn deals with this. She said, my mother used to make us say together before we went on a trip, we're not going anywhere. It was meant to trick the devil. She says, I can't say I believe in that kind of thing, but then again, I didn't say it before I left home, and look at where that got me. She had a plane crash. What do you think about this? She remembers what her mom used to tell them about tricking the devil, saying that, no, we're not going anywhere, just to trick the devil, then you travel. She remembered that when she had the plane crash, and she remembered that he didn't say that before setting off.
I think whether she said it or not, still first of all, she did not believe in it. So, and also she had, I think she took it from her mother, who died of superstitions. That even was reason enough for her not to believe in such trick words. She was adventurous. She wanted to see if I say or not, what will happen, and it did happen. I mean, it was. There's so many twists to this passage that it's really mind-blowing.
Actually, I have a lot of things to say about superstitions in my country, but I think we don't have enough time. We still have so many other things to see and work on. And if we move on to the next questions now, I'm sorry?
Continue in Discord.
Yeah, maybe, yes. We'll see how to figure this out. Now she is in Egypt, and we're going to work on the rest of the passage. And I'd like you please to find in the rest of the passage a word, actually is an adjective that means squeezed. Or squeeze it, push together, in a small space. Exactly, yes. Rumpled. Yes.
Oh, wrinkle.
So squealed is rumpled here, yes.
Rumpled.
Oh, rumpled.
Exactly.
Rumpled. Wait. New word. Rumpled.
All right. The next word is confused.
Trick.
No, the word does go in order. Okay, the word does go in order, so it should be after them.
Dazed.
Dazed. Very good. One meaning of. She's speaking about a group of tourists who were led to the minivan. She said they were rumpled and they were dazed, being herded into the minivan, a tent wagon, duct tape luggage. To assemble together,
Herded.
Yes, to herd people, like a group of animals. Yes, herded, assembled, to assemble, to herd.
Assemble together.
One meaning here is assembled together or herded into the minivan.
Okay.
All right. Last word, a light wind.
Breeze.
A breeze, yes. A light wind here is a breeze. Before moving on to the following passage, I'd like you to focus on the sentences in red. She says, walking outside of the airport in Cairo in August feels like stepping onto the surface of the sun. And the other sentence is, the heat is a knife on your skin. what do we call this structure or writing techniques?
Metaphors.
Metaphors. Yes. I don't know if we should go into a bit deeper into the structure of the metaphors. Can you see any differences between the two metaphors? Look at the first one. Walking outside of the airport in Cairo in August is like stepping onto the surface of the sun. The second one, the heat is a knife on your skin. Can you notice any differences or any difference, maybe one difference in the structure of the two sentences?
In the first, it is an action described, maybe. In the second one,
I'd like you to focus on the techniques, maybe or the metaphors. We have here comparisons. In both sentences, we have comparisons. You used, Rahma, you used a metaphor. Which do you think is a metaphor? The first one or the second one?
I think the second one.
Exactly.
The heat is a knife on your skin.
So what do you think the first one should be called? It's okay. The structure is called using comparisons is a figure of speech. The second one is a metaphor. The first one is a simile. I'm sorry. The first one is
not
simile,
a figurative language.
It's a figure of speech or figurative language, or yeah. The second one, the first one is a simile. And the first one is a simile. The second one is a metaphor. There is a slight difference between the two. Is in the first sentence we have like. Walking outside of the airport is like stepping onto the surface of the sun. However, in a metaphor, we have just, the heat is a knife. There is no like. It should be maybe the heat is like a knife on your skin, but the writer doesn't use this, just the heat is a knife without the word like, and it's a metaphor. Right? Metaphors, similes, and imagery is used a lot in literature, of course, to help us see the image, maybe. And we have another good example in the following passage, I think, about here it is, about the taxi drivers. She says, the other taxi drivers fall back, seagulls in search of another crumb. She compared the taxi drivers to seagulls.
Yes, compares who two birds.
Yeah. Good. In this passage 3, I'm going to show you pictures first. Then I'd like you to find out names of these pictures, and they're not highlighted, okay? The words aren't highlighted. We're going to work on the highlighted words later. And they go in order. So we have the first picture, maybe in line is 1, 2, or 3. Sneakers, very good. It's a line number 3. She says, line 2, there is no hiding the fact that I'm a Westerner. It's clear from my red hair to my cargo pants and the sneakers. Sneakers is an American word for the picture here. Does anyone know the British word for it?
Trainers.
Trainers. Thank you. Trainers. Second picture.
Mustache.
Mustache. Very good. I'm sorry, third picture.
Long sleeve, striped shirt.
Yeah, it's a long sleeved striped shirt. It's a shirt with long sleeves and it's a striped. Good. Yes. A long sleeved striped shirt.
Seagull.
Seagull. And this picture here is crumb. Okay. Little pieces of a bread maybe or cake. So seagull in search of a crumb. Okay. The next activity, I don't know if I think we just, time is, 5 minutes, later of our due time. I don't like to keep you longer. Maybe we should ask for more time next time.
What is
Shall we
the last time? The third one.
Yeah, shall we stop here or shall we add one more activity?
I would love to continue.
Yeah, one more activity maybe. I'm going to, okay. Right. We have some highlighted words here. I'm going to give you, maybe I'm going to give you synonyms and you give me the highlighted word that goes with it. The first synonym here is unfunny. Unfunny. Which word among the highlighted ones here means unfunny, not funny?
Lame.
I'm sorry?
Lame joke.
Lame. Very good. Here in the middle, it says, but that lame joke is still the go-to gag for visitors. A lame joke means an unfunny joke. Right. A smile.
Green.
Smile.
Green.
A grin.
Green
Yeah.
spells in here.
White grin. A grin means a smile. Surprised. Astonished.
Stunned.
Stunned. Very good. Now, surprising. Astonishing.
Startling.
Startling. ING. Right? Okay. To shout. To shout. To shout at someone. To speak very loud. To bark. Yeah, exactly. To bark. Okay. Now I'm going to do a gesture, and I'd like you to tell me what's the right word for it.
Okay.
Now, this just, can you see me?
Not.
To nod, to say yes, to nod. What about this one?
Shaking.
To shake your head. Say no, shake your head. Good. I'm really sorry that we couldn't cover all the, I wanted to talk about compound adjectives here, but that's it. It's a pity. Anyway, we should just end the session here. I think that's it. We still have many other activities to do, but it's really, we have run out of time. Maybe we can talk to James and Tonelli in the future so that we can maybe have 1 hour and a half, maybe. Okay. Thank you very much for for attending the session. Thank you to Satish, to Tamanu, Grace, Frida, Ari, Nargis, Maruf. Thank you very much. Yeah, Nani, of course. Nani.
Oh my goodness.
Top of the list. You're top. I
Thank you,
really
Walter.
appreciate you staying late to that time of,
I want
I know that is.
director.
What time, Nani, now in
think-
Indonesia?
Indonesia now almost 2
2
a.m.
o'clock in the morning. That's too late. Thank you very much.
No, I mean,
I
next
think we
time
can
you
request for a continuation. Perhaps being the board of directors, you could pass this on.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll see with, well, here I'm just a teacher here. I need to talk to Nelly, but I think Nelly is the one looking after this. James
Jess
is
is here as well. You can as well speak to him.
Yeah, so maybe next time we can maybe devote 1 hour and a half
Inshallah.
rather than just 1 hour. Thank you very much.
At 1500, not at 17.
Maybe we can
Earlier.
earlier, maybe we'll see. Yes.
I
we'll
believe
see.
more participant because it is very interesting.
Yeah, I see. Again, participants, please do read the book with us. We're waiting for you on Discord.
That's my problem. I have no time to read longer.
They're not long. They're not long.
Doesn't
That's
take
my
much time, really.
Thank you for
Short passages,
for-
but very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mokhtar. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank you,
very much.
Mokhtar.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm going to end by